Welcome back to Ultimate S&S. So we're going to take a look at our garden today and discuss a few things that's going on. So here we go, guys.
Okay, so here we have some of our okra plants. As you can see, we're starting to get okra on the plants now, finally. We have our purple top turnips growing. I've been feeding a lot of these collards to the chickens. Just been pulling them up slowly, giving it to the chickens. We'll plant more come fall. Our two younger tomato plants look to be doing good. Then here's our older ones. Over there we have more turnip and radishes. If you can see in behind the corn, that's our cucumber patch growing up on this fencing over here. As you can see, we're getting cucumbers on here. Lots and lots of cucumbers growing. A lot of them are still small though. And over here are our green bean plants. I already picked what was ready yesterday, but you want to keep, these are still young, you want to keep the large ones picked off that are mature, and they will continue to produce and your bush will continue to get bigger. And we have quite a bit of squash coming in.
So that garden's looking great, man. It really is. I showed a little bit of the squash there. That squash isn't going to get much bigger than that because they are the first fruits on that plant. So what I typically do is I try to cut those off before they start to go bad, before they start to rot or over ripen on the plant. If you don't pull that stuff off before it starts to ripen on the plant, you're going to run into a situation where your plant is going to stop producing and stuff, guys. So you want to make sure that you pull that stuff off. Now, after that initial harvest off the first blooms and stuff that actually produce fruit, then you can wait and allow that stuff to get the size. So here's what we ended up pulling off those plants today.
So anytime I've ever grown this straight neck squash, the first few that always come off don't get much bigger than this, and they will rot on the plant. You don't want to leave stuff to rot on the plant. So you can pull that off, the first few that grow, because they're not going to get much bigger than that. And after that, the plants will actually start to produce larger fruit. So these are some of the ones that I cut off. I had some that were getting real soggy, like right where this green area is. But you can still eat these. You just want to take it, trim it up, cut it, fry it up, guys. It ain't going to hurt you at all.
And while those didn't get very big, those are perfect size to chop those up, batter them up, and fry them. So that's going to be for dinner tonight. I'm also going around and taking and looking at a lot of the lettuce and stuff that's coming out there. I'm leaving a few of them to bolt so they can seed, but most of that stuff out there is bolting because of the heat here, and a lot of it is in shade. It's just so hot. It's more of a cool weather crop, but I was able to get quite a bit of lettuce out of it this year before it started bolting. And when it starts to bolt, you can eat it if you can stomach it. It gets very bitter. So what I'm doing with that is I'm just taking that stuff up and I'm feeding it to the chickens, and I'm alternating between lettuce and collard greens and stuff like that. And as my turnips come in or my radishes come in, I want to feed a lot of those greens to those during the summertime. And the reason for that is because they typically, when it gets this hot, it's going to be too spicy for what my tasting is. If you like a lot of spicy stuff, then I'd recommend growing that stuff in the summer. But I just wanted to get some of the turnips. I wanted to get some of the greens early on, which we have, and now it's basically going to be food plots or food patches for those chickens that are out there. And here's our chickens, and they stay gorged all the time on stuff I'm bringing out there. So, but here they are with their lettuce, guys.
So now we have a lot of lettuce bolting. I'm taking most of it up and just feeding it to the chickens. We will leave some of those out there to bolt, so we'll have seeds to plant for this fall.
And that's really all I got going on today. Going to do a little bit more weeding and stuff, but corn's looking good. I'm seeing up the center of the stalk. I can see where the pollen sacs or whatever you want to call it is going to be coming out of the top of the plant, and I can look down between the areas where the ears are going to come. I'm seeing development there, so we're getting pretty close on our corn, which is nice. And when you start getting close on corn like that, it doesn't hurt to water your plant in the mornings. Now you can water overhead. The problem with the overhead, if you don't have a lot of breezeway and a lot of sun, you're going to get mold and things like that on your plants. I have plenty of sun out here. I have plenty of breeze during the day being out here on the Gulf, guys, and I'm telling you, it just, I've given it about a 30 to 40 minute water in the morning, and everything seems to be doing good. We do have rain coming in. It looks like probably Friday night, maybe Saturday morning, somewhere around in there, which is going to be nice because I've noticed that rain, when it comes in, it really saturates and the fruit really just starts to produce. So yesterday I went out and I made up a bunch of 5-gallon buckets using some potash and different stuff like that. And I also have a bloom booster that I use, and you can find a lot of different types of products out there, guys. I don't usually promote plant products and stuff, but if I find something, I'll let you know if it works pretty good. This other stuff I'm using is a lot of phosphates and stuff like that, which is going to be your PK value on your fertilizers, so I don't have to worry about the nitrogen so much because I have plenty of quail manure on that, but it does have a little bit of that. But typically just take a scoop of that to 5 gallons of water. But what I actually prefer to do is to make my own, which is making your own potash, making your own bone meal, whatever you want to call it. Taking I just took and burned a bunch of the quail bones from all those quail I butchered out here when I deboned them, and we cooked that down in a fire so that it was burning up with the hardwood. And once all that's done, you can grind it if you want to. I just smash everything up real good and pour it into a slurry, and then pour that out on the plants after it's sat for about 24 hours. And that typically really boosts those plants, the bloom production and things like that. It's going to give you larger fruit as well. So those are going to be some great avenues for you in the future as well. But I hope everyone's been having a great day. I'm going to get back to work and see everybody later.